are movements trying to get people to understand why we have certain laws in place and that a man is always innocent until proven guilty. And surprisingly, it's challenging. These laws were made for a reason, and it's for our own protection from ourselves. Regardless, certain powers and groups keep trying to steer us away from respecting our own rights whenever we're emotionally compromised. In many cases, justice is being sidetracked and derailed by mainstream media. It's also being derailed by many powerful groups like extreme feminism, as well as wild sensationalism. People fly off with their emotions and believe rumors, lies, and hearsay before they let professionals investigate the validity of the claims. We are at war with a societal, obstinate, and foolish regression that is always working against what took many years and the genius of enlightened pioneers to fortify. Here is another case that is happening one time too many, that many of you may not have heard about, and it may sound like something very familiar. This is the account of Tyler Kost, a teenager who was arrested for raping 13 teenage girls.
A Santan Valley teen remains behind bars tonight.
Rearrested today and facing 25 new charges of sexual abuse and sexual assault. A judge determined 18-year-old Tyler Kost could not be released on bond. Since the Poston Butte High School student's initial arrest, 5 more alleged sexual assault victims have come forward, bringing the total to 18. Still, deputies say more victims could be out there.
Tyler Kost has been languishing in prison for over a year now. But listen to this. A treasure trove of evidence is piling in, suggesting that the 13 girls conspired and plotted the whole thing all along.
Court hearing today in the case of the Pinal County teenager accused of sexually assaulting several girls at his former high school. Lawyers for Tyler Kost are going after the social media records of the accusers. Fox 10's Mark Martinez is live in Florence with more on these new developments. Mark.
Yeah, Carrie, Tyler Kost's attorney says social media records obtained by the Pinal County Sheriff's Department as part of this investigation to help prosecutors actually show that his client is a victim here of what he calls a shocking conspiracy organized by a group of teenagers who are out to get Tyler Kost. And now he is asking the judge to order prosecutors to turn over the social media records of everyone involved in this case. 19-year-old Tyler Kost has been called a serial rapist, accused of sexually assaulting 13 young women in Pinal County from 2009 to 2013. But his defense attorney is filing a motion in court today, claiming this was all part of a conspiracy theory by a group of teens who were plotting to attack Tyler, including fabricating a rape allegation to take revenge against Kost for, quote, being a player. Kost's attorneys say social media conversations among some of the victims show they planned the conspiracy at least a week before the allegations came out in March of 2013, even getting together to watch the movie John Tucker Must Die. One alleged victim saying in a Facebook group chat he needs to be taught a lesson, and then he's going to feel the pain he put every girl through. Another comment says, this is just going to be so much fun. One of the young women who said Tyler Kost raped and impregnated her said on her Instagram account weeks after the alleged attack she wanted to marry Kost, calling him a dream come true of a boyfriend.
What we now know is that there were a group of girls who conspired against Tyler to put him in jail. They succeeded at that, and Tyler has been in jail for over a year based on those lies.
This strategy that has been used before is dogpiling. Lots of people may not even think about this, but crooked lawyers, con artists, liars, and schemers do. When you can get enough people to say the same thing to a people who don't understand the law, you can completely override a community's better judgment, which would entail wanting to know the proof or evidence. When you dogpile with many others, people instead unwittingly do away with the law and instead start thinking, well, all those girls can't be lying, when of course they can, especially if there's something wanted or something to gain that you don't know about. And it happens all the time and in varying scenarios. Observe how the misguided in society are directing events and making the law function backward. Instead of having Kost innocent until he's proven guilty, he was thrown in jail based on the word of a bunch of teen girls with no evidence, but a bunch of girls saying the same thing. And now the burden of proof was thrown on Tyler to prove himself out of jail. The prosecution handed nearly 100,000 pages of social media records from several of the alleged victims, containing proof that the girls plotted this. So even though he proved some of those girls that said he raped them lied, he still needs to bring forth proof of the rest, even though they had no evidence either. Nor did the court find it suspicious that all these girls seemed to move in sync. The court documents reveal a group Facebook chat where 3 of the accusers and 3 witnesses made plans to teach a lesson to Kost. Tyler needs to be taught a lesson, ran one interaction. Another exchange read, "I'm down, I already know this is going to be so much fun." We live in a world in which we learn time and time again that nothing is what it seems. We're headed toward very dark times, and all the time people plot and scheme for varying reasons. Sometimes things look very bad, but no matter how bad things look, you really never know. You can also never trust the media or hearsay because, quite frankly, the entities responsible for dishing out the information lie and lay it on thick all the time to support whatever narrative benefits them best. The appearance of guilt and controversy sells. So they very covertly encourage looking the other way when it comes to the evidence and the critical thinking side of things. So they will double down and spin the story to reflect the controversy they want. Truth, justice, and respect for the law is going to the wayside. When it comes to rape, there are several groups encouraging society to just believe accusers no matter what and spring into punitive action. What these groups are not considering is the statistics revealing the sobering reality of the situation that entails the astonishing amount of times false claims are made every single day.
A teenage girl told police that she was raped here at Northeast High School on January 19th. That led to the arrest of 7 teenage boys, 3 minors, 3 17-year-olds, and an 18-year-old. Now all 7 have been cleared and are out of jail.
The young lady admitted to the Macon Police Department detectives that she falsely accused 7 of her classmates at Northeast.
KDKA-TV News at 6 in high definition.
What if police showed up at your house in the middle of the night, took you out of bed, and arrested you for a crime that you know you did not commit? Well, if that sounds more like a movie than real life, then you're going to want to hear the story of a man from the South Hills who says that it happened to him.
Not only that, the woman who accused him of raping her now faces charges that she made it all up. New at 6, Andy Sheehan has the interview you'll see only on KDKA.
A woman named Caitlin Webster told investigators Foligno had stalked, choked, and raped her, and she showed them these neck bruises to prove it. Only problem is, she made it all up.
Complete fiction.
Complete fiction.
But by then, Foligno was in jail, looking at 5 to 10 years hard time.
And only on 7 News, this police interview with a Fort Collins woman. She was later convicted for making phony rape accusations, and the man she accused was arrested and put in jail 1 year ago today. Well, tonight, he is speaking to 7 News reporter Lindsay Watts about why he is still struggling to pick up the pieces.
It's definitely a reminder of what I've been through.
Accused of rape, cuffed at the police station the day before Thanksgiving.
I can ask you some questions regarding the crime of sexual assault.
Watching it back 1 year later, Dustin Toth says his life still feels out of control.
Okay.
His accuser, Catherine Bennett, a coworker he'd started dating.
And right now, the statements that I've been given do not match evidence.
This is exclusive video of her police interview. As Toth sat in jail, her story fell apart.
I'm not telling you to drop charges. I want to know the facts about what happened.
Bennett later convicted of making it all up. She was sentenced to 35 days in jail, then an ankle monitor and probation.
I don't feel that's justice.
Toth says he's the one who's been punished. The Army National Guardsman lost his civilian job and was out of work for nearly 6 months after the arrest.
I've been behind on my car payment ever since.
This isn't just happening in the States, but unfortunately all over the world. Another high-profile case of rape accusation that also may sound familiar is the case of well-known British actor William Roach. Roach is over 80 years old, but all of a sudden, women started coming forward claiming they were raped by the actor in the 1960s and 70s when they were underage teenage girls. Roach was written out of his show, charged and arrested.
Where the actor insisted he hadn't assaulted anyone nearly half a century ago, and the jury believed him. The world's longest-serving soap star was cleared of a string of sexual offences against girls aged 16 or under between the mid-1960s and early 1970s.
After a review of the evidence and cross-examination in court, all the women were exposed for lying, and William Roach was cleared of all charges. Statistics show hordes of people are consistently lying about rape to receive money, to hide infidelity. Some are lying about rape for revenge, or even as a strategy in custody battles. Some to get attention. And in some cases, women have lied about rape not because they were raped, but because they regretted the sex act. And so, psychologically, they began to recall the consensual sex act they now regret as rape. I know very well that I'm creating enemies and people will not like me or what I have to say. And the reason is because I'm speaking the truth. Whose truth, one might say? The absolute truth, according to the principles of the law of the land. Many people are well-intentioned and mean to do the right thing. However, we are in a time of great deception and confusion, and the lines of right and wrong are blurred regarding many things. People want to protect or avenge women from the atrocity that is rape, but don't realize they may be emotionally compromised, especially if they were raped themselves, and are calling for things that are socially unreasonable and do not result in justice. We should never just assume accusations of any crime are true, and we need to habitually work with legal protocol, not against it. Most of us want the same thing: justice. Becoming like emotional little children that watch TV and then come up with made-up mind conclusions is not going to drive society forward where it needs to go. Listen to one of Tyler's neighbors who sat around listening to the news, completely unaware that he may have been set up.
Catherine McBride says her kindergarten-aged daughter walks past Tyler's house every day.
It made me feel sick to my stomach. I mean, he can see into their backyard where my kids are playing all day long.
McBride says the teen being rearrested today does give her at least some comfort.
I hope he stays in jail forever. I don't know why they released him the first time. I don't think that they should have ever done that, but I'm glad he's back in jail now.
We need to put the tabloids down and stop listening to these extremists and fanatics bringing society to ruin. We're all in this together, and the best way to handle serious crimes is to respect innocence until proven guilt. Opinions or actions should be made only after the careful review of the facts and evidence in a court of law. If, for whatever reason, that has not been done, we should not be going the way of hearsay or wild and uninformed sensationalism, and respect what we don't know.